the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff, yeah. It's off the cuff, 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 yeah. It's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, yeah.
This is God ordained, get in position, cause we on a mission, fulfilling this vision, releasing contention, and it's God we praise. The one who keeps us from falling, receiving this faultless. Ooh, that man is awesome. You see, it's every day we celebrate. Right now it's time for us to elevate. So get your hands up, cause Hosanna is great. And see, they call it off the cuff because we tailor-made.
Off the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff, yeah.
Give our own family.
What's up? Hey, we on the air, man. What's up? Welcome to Off the Cuff, also known as OTC University.
Where you learn something.
Let me welcome those of you who are listening to the show for the first time. I am Bobby, and the crew is in the house with me tonight.
Ricky and Mike.
Say hello to the folks. Eric.
What's up, y'all?
All right, little Chad.
What it is.
Oh, you said it all school, didn't you? What it is.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have a special guest in the house tonight that's hanging out with us and is going to chime in on the topic. Rumor has it that he was the DC Comedian of the Year. Somebody said, yeah. And also he's been on BET, so he says, several times. And I have to note something before I say his name, is that he is shorter than Eric.
Oh, wow.
So his name is Steve Sarvis, not Jarvis.
Steve.
You get Steve. It's not Steve. It's not. No. What's your name, man?
I'm gonna be a guest. You know what my name? Like I broke in here. You know what I'm saying?
His name is Sean. Sean Sarvis. Say what's up to the folks, man.
What's happening, family? What's going on?
You don't go by Steve, right?
Steve just sounds
I just want to let y'all know. Steve sounds taller than Sean.
Steve said he had an extra long torso.
Right. That's for the record. No, I just got short legs, but I got a long torso, so it's gonna be all right. When I get my knees done, it's gonna be all right.
You got a knee extension?
Yes,
knee extension.
Implants. That's right. And I'm blocking all the shots in basketball.
I hear you.
Yes,
That's all right.
Yeah.
It was all a dream.
And you still dreaming.
You know what? I think he might need some stilettos on tonight because he kind of short.
Oh, man.
He's not short.
He kind of
He's
short.
not that short.
Nah, man.
He's not that short.
He's the shortest one in the room today.
You know you can't.
He's so happy he can say that right now. He don't know what to do.
Okay, so right now all the taller folks gonna talk.
All the time. Y'all got problems.
This is the last time I'm gonna be on this show. I tell you that right now. Look, I ain't never been in an environment where I had to come in the door swinging. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but I'll tell you like this.
They should have told you got the bob and weave.
You got the bob and weave.
If we didn't have love for you, we wouldn't go at you.
Hey, man, no, that's all good.
So we appreciate you being here, man.
I've been short for 40 years.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
used to
And
it.
you'll be short for 40 more than
Come on, Chad, hit him with that current event, man.
Yeah, now tell me about this. What's up with Mitt?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did y'all know, first of all, did you know that Mitt really is short for Milton? So why he got this issue with black folk, people of color? Milton is not a white person's name. Milton, he needs to relax on that just a little bit. Milton is. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to point that out before I got into this little question right
If you
here.
try to get some votes, yeah,
You know,
will be mid all day.
Yeah, but when he get to the hood, he can say my name is Milton. And not be lying to the people.
That's true.
I feel your pain.
I understand.
You know? I ain't had gum and cheese, but I saw what it looked like. I can do something. I did something extra post. But anyway, Mitt got this little thing going on. You know, he finally released his taxes.
Yeah, he finally
You
did.
know, to everybody, whatever. Found out that he only paid like 14% roughly. You know, a little over 14%, but 14% roughly of his $13.7 million salary that he gathered last year. Most of which he made with them companies that he funds.
I wonder what
overseas
loophole
in China.
he went through to get that done.
I don't know, but it was huge.
He had to do something, man.
You know, it was huge. That's all I know. That's a lot of money. And you know, the average American, at least according to the Tax Foundation, you know, pays about 29%.
29%
on average a year.
He said,
You
"No,
know,
I
in
paid
taxes.
what legally."
He paid
What I
half.
had.
He paid less than half
paid less
of what
than
the
half.
average American pays.
Yeah.
And we out here squaggling. Not struggling,
Well,
squaggling.
that means he don't
Good
care
time,
much
man.
about us struggling.
He don't care.
No.
Yeah,
He don't know nothing about the struggle.
Yeah, because that 47% that he was talking about,
Right.
didn't have nothing to do with that
Right,
billions of
right.
dollars that he had.
Don't care about it.
Because that
He said
47%,
47% of the what? Of the individuals that don't pay taxes. Right?
yeah,
Those people is what
those
they call
people,
them.
yeah,
Those people.
He said he's not concerned about them folks. Not those folks. And I like what President Obama hit him with. Now, he said, now, if you want to be president, like I am.
Yeah.
He said,
let him know. You trying to get where I'm at.
you have to be president of all people, not just 47%. That's right.
That's right.
I was like, go ahead,
Can't
Barack.
mess with Barack.
Yeah,
Barack
man.
is cold.
Barack been sparring. He knows.
Yeah, you know. And what people need to understand is the Mint that you see, Milton that you see,
Right.
is gonna be the Milton that they gonna try to put in the White House.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That don't care nothing about the 47%.
Right.
And the 47% is my auntie, my uncle,
Yeah.
Ray, Pookie, and Shaniqua.
Yeah.
And every other Karen or Janet that you might run into.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then-
And the brothers in this
Double
room.
And
Because I ain't paid 14% ever. No, not never. Okay? For real.
And R. Kelly.
Yes,
I really got to pay
yes,
for
sir.
them kids.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Check it out. We got
Extra sheets or something.
a hot topic tonight. Got a hot topic tonight. Title of our topic tonight is parenting a lost art.
Yes.
Man, it's gonna be a deep little
Hey, this
thing
is
right
deep.
here. You know what I'm saying?
Get your pens and paper
All right.
ready.
So make sure you stay tuned in.
Got
All
a
right,
quiz for you.
because a lot of you parents tonight, right, is going to help you give you some insight into the type of relationship that you have with your children.
Right.
Do you really know what's going on with your children? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, listen to these. Listen to these facts right here. I hope we make it through this show, y'all. Listen to these facts
I
right
hope you
here.
make it without stuttering like you
Yeah,
did last
I'm good, man.
Hey, we got any
Good. Look, each year, say that louder in the microphone,
I'm
Bobby.
sorry.
Each year, about 1 million teenagers in the United States, approximately 10% of all 15 to 19-year-old women become pregnant. That's staggering right there.
Yes.
Of these pregnancies, only 13% are intended. Now, the U.S. teen pregnancy rate is more than twice as high as that in any other advanced country and almost 10 times as high as the rate in Japan
Wow.
or the Netherlands. You know they doing something over there. It's
Yes,
about
sir.
8
Yes, sir.
billion people over there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About a third of these teens abort their pregnancies. 14% miscarry, and 52%, or more than half of 1 million teens, bear children. 72% of them out of wedlock. Of the 500,000 teens who give birth each year, roughly 3/4 are giving birth for the first time. Over 175,000 of these new mothers are age 17 or younger. That's scary right there, man. The male partners now of teenage mothers tend to be teens themselves. Even so, they generally are not a consistent source of support for the teenage mother or their children. Now, only 20 to 30% marry the mother of their child. That should be a sign to somebody right there,
that's
okay?
right, that's right.
And only about 20% of the non-resident fathers are ordered by the court to actually pay child support.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
low because they got me.
Yes, sir.
I'm paying. I don't know where that 20% is.
When I
That must be
I
mixed.
see 100%. Only 20.
Son, that must be some of Mitt's cousins. they found a loophole. Because I ain't found it.
Now, the consequences of this outcome is high poverty rates. You know, even for those who are employed. Among adolescents' mothers, almost 2/3 of blacks, half of Hispanics,
Yes.
and just over 1/4 of whites are still in poverty by the time they reach their late 20s.
That's at 47%.
That's ridiculous right there, man.
Yeah.
Our goal tonight is to provide some tips that will help create better relationships with your children.
Yeah, you gotta talk to your kids.
Yeah, we gotta stop these babies from having babies.
Yeah, babies
That's what it boils down
having
to.
babies. You know, so since we on the topic of teen pregnancy, we have to address so many teenage girls who are getting pregnant.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is why are teenage boys becoming daddies before they're even ready to be daddies?
Ain't ready.
You know what I'm saying?
They not ready.
That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
I believe the number one reason that we are not having it's because we're not having meaningful dialogue with our children.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
secondly, parents aren't askable.
Askable.
Askable. I thought that was a crazy term.
Right.
But I read it all over the internet. So now it is in my mind.
You simple.
Simple as it comes. Askable parent, right? But here's the deal. You know what we
That's a
have.
Wikipedia term right there.
What we have to understand, though, is that you need to be an askable parent.
Right.
I mean, let's use the word approachable as a better word, too.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that the child feels like they can come to
Right.
to
Open.
discuss these kinds of issues. Open. There
be
you go.
open.
Right.
There you go. But can they discuss these issues with you without you getting mad like most black folks do?
Right, yeah.
Or without lecturing them like,
Uh-huh.
you know, you outside the issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? This
Uh-huh.
is on you. And nobody wants to be lectured.
Right.
Nobody wants to be felt like they are small.
Yeah.
So that's why children don't approach their parents. And one thing we got to understand that your child's early understanding of sex, love, intimacy, and their own sexuality molds the values that carry them into their future, into the rest of their lifetime.
That's right. That's
It
right.
builds their self-image, their self-concept,
Right.
and the direction of where they want to go in their life.
Right.
That's
So
right.
parents got
You
to be
sound like a
on
black Dr. Phil.
Stop it, right? Let me back up out of that. So if you're not an askable parent or an approachable parent, you need to become one today. You are your child's first and most important teacher.
That's right. That's true.
First and most important teacher. So to
right.
better gauge where you are, we're going to give you a quiz. All right? So get a pen and paper out.
All right.
We're going to
get
take
ready.
a quick 5-question quiz. All right?
Okay. All right.
So let me get to this
Okay.
first question
All right,
here.
first question.
While Chad does the little music while the people are getting pens and paper.
You want some Jeopardy music?
Yeah, Jeopardy music.
Huh?
Yeah.
I get some Public Enemy. I won one a long time ago. You ready? You better get to it.
All right. We got to get on the quiz.
Do the right thing. Be all up in here.
All right, so the first question on the quiz is the best time to start talking to your teen about sex and sexuality is around the age they start to have sex. True or false is the question. And the answer is false.
False.
If you said true, you need to back that up. All right, but the answer is false.
Make a mental note to self if you don't have some paper.
Right.
Because some of y'all feel like you good parents and feel like you're doing the right thing, but this might be a little better gauge for you, you know, to jump in or whatever on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here's the issue. Talking with your child about sexuality and sex should start at a young age.
Young age, man. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Children are curious about their bodies, and if you initiate the conversation early enough, not only does it help your child know who they are and open up communication, but it also takes the stress of the talk, so to speak.
The talk. Right.
Off your shoulders.
Right,
Go
right,
ahead,
right.
Sean. What you got?
No, I was going to say that
Sean.
I think that was very important because
Big
you could
Sean.
talk. Big Sean. Thank you.
There you go.
Big Saul. I like that.
Big Saul. I got it.
Yeah.
All right, go
I
ahead.
think any time is a great time, but I think that you have to be creative in it.
Yes.
You know, because if you're going to a cookout, say you and your son go to a cookout,
Right.
and you get a hot dog, and you want to put something on the hot dog, right?
Right.
So you go, hey, son, take out the condiments. Speaking of condoms, you need to talk about, and that's a good segue. You got to be more creative.
I thought it worked.
Yeah, that worked.
I thought that worked.
Because you can't say, you at the dinner table, pass me the salt. You got your Jimmy in your pants. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
uh-huh.
you got to be creative with that. I mean, that's
You
how
relish in the ketchup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how freaky you are. You
Exactly.
relish ketchup.
Relish
All that
ketchup.
you get deep in.
Speaking of lubricants,
That's right.
there you go. I feel where you're going on that.
Yes,
All right, pull up. Everybody pull up. All right. Question 2.
Check it out. Question number 2.
Okay.
All right. Your son or daughter comes home from school and tells you that their classmate just found out that she was pregnant.
Is it a girl?
Okay. Yes, a girl.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I would say to my son, "Is it you?" Because it's a good time. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Pray for me. Go ahead.
So in this situation,
Everybody stretch your hands to
Hey, it's some false.
you got that right.
Testimonies, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So in this situation, you would tell them you never did like who that girl hung out with, and that it's absolutely her fault because of her choices and friends.
Wow.
Or B, start a conversation about how this happened and how it could have been avoided.
Wow.
Ignore the conversation completely. Your son or daughter already makes good choices and would never end up in a situation like this or her and her classmates anyway. Or D, nod your head in acknowledgement so your son or daughter is aware you heard them and then return to what you were doing in the first place.
There you go. There
All right.
you go. What's the answer?
The answer is B.
All right, B.
Yeah.
So start a conversation.
You start a conversation.
Right.
Start a
About
conversation
how
with
this
them.
happened. Yeah.
All right. Because
Which sounds, I mean, you should have definitely start a conversation because
Right.
you want to get that out.
Right, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But not, in the manner of, so tell me, how did this happen? Because we all know how it happened.
Yeah,
Right,
It was the Holy
right.
Spirit.
That's
And
true.
so-
Hey,
absolutely. So, yeah.
okay. Immaculate conception.
Right.
Something
Right, right.
on that level. Yeah, but you definitely want to have a conversation
Yeah.
with them just to find out, where they were at, what was going
Yeah.
through their mind.
And you have to take those opportunities because even I had younger kids, now they're getting older, but my kids would come in and say things to me like that, like so and so is pregnant. And I can't believe she's pregnant, Daddy. But then I would say things like, so what you think about it? Not how we all know how it happened,
Right.
but how you think this is going to affect her future?
right, right,
And then it becomes a conversation about
Right.
them.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not her.
It's interesting that you say that because I remember having a conversation one time with a young lady with some kids that I was mentoring, and whenever I asked her that question,
I'm sorry.
she actually
That's
said,
just funny that you mentor kids.
"You know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy because you would never think that.
Right.
But you ain't no kid.
Right.
So I can say what I want around you.
So absolutely. Go ahead. I'm with you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm with
You
you.
sure you with me?
Keep going. Keep going.
We were on the same
All right, go
train,
ahead.
bro.
But what she ended up saying was, it actually made her want a child.
Right.
And that to me was scary. It's like, okay, your friend or somebody at school, she had a baby,
Right.
and now she gets to go to this other school. She gets out of school early because there's a whole bunch of different changes that they go through if they get pregnant and they're in school because they
Right.
can't stay in school to term.
Right.
Right.
Or whatever. So she said, "Oh no, it made me want a baby. I like babies." And and I ended up I got her to a female to talk to her,
Oh,
really.
that was a good move.
But it's like,
Wow.
that's not, that's just not, it's illogical thinking.
Yeah.
Right,
You
right.
You haven't looked at the bigger picture.
Right.
But they
You know.
think like that, and of course there's some behind the scene things which takes their mind there when they want a baby just because somebody else have a baby.
Right.
Either point where they're looking for love. A lot of my daughters come home and they talk, and this is a perfect safe way for me to talk to them when they come up with things like this. And I don't railroad the friend unless the friend is a roller, which they call them. Out there, and she wind up getting pregnant. Then I say, well, there's consequences to whatever we do, But
No doubt.
and that's why, now you understand why I keep y'all in church. Why I tell you to keep yourself. Why I tell you to watch yourself.
Right.
Why I look at some boys cross-eyed when they try to talk to you. So now you understand because I want you to have a good chance in life and not have to grow up, carrying a baby and you 17 years old,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was at a pizza place just yesterday, and actually, one girl came in with 3 friends, and she had a baby stroller, and one of her friends had a baby stroller, and the third child was actually carrying a baby in with her.
Oh, wow.
And and I think what happens is the child that got maybe pregnant, the first child that got pregnant,
Right.
they glamorized what it was to be
Okay.
pregnant and have a baby. Because what they see is her parents might be cool with it.
Right.
Her parents might be one work at night and one work in the day, so they stay home with the baby and they glamorize it.
Right.
Exactly.
And so she go to school and come home and it's like, oh, nothing in my life has really changed.
Right.
But to the child in the middle, her mom and daddy ain't like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? So now the glamorization of having a baby wears off quickly.
Absolutely.
You see what I mean? And I think some young females see that and they think, oh, I could do this. I should,
Right.
and the baby, don't let the baby be mixed or have like green eyes or light brown eyes like Eric. Oh my God. And the people are like, oh, I just love your baby's eyes.
Right.
I mean, they think their baby gonna come out like that baby.
Right.
And it doesn't work that way because
Short,
children don't
looking
see
like
it.
Prince.
Right.
Good thing you're not talking about me.
But that's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, would you also agree that it's a sense of accomplishment? Because depending on what area that you grow up, I mean, basically that's all they see.
That's true.
So if Cheryl got a baby,
Right.
Tina got a baby,
Yeah.
I don't have no baby. Something wrong with me.
Right,
So
right. That is
that's
true.
That's a good point.
That is
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
he did bring
Good
that up.
point.
I ain't
So,
never read that in
so
you.
you need to tell your daughter and your son to snap out of that.
Yeah.
Because it ain't nothing glamorous about it.
Right.
It's the consequences of what someone else did.
Right. And as a parent, what you need to do is take advantage of this type of occasion to talk to your child about safe sex and healthy relationships, while leaving the conversation open so that they, themselves as children can share their feelings on the situation as well.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, let them talk about it. And don't trip. That's what I got to tell my parents. Don't trip. If they say something that don't feel right to you,
Or that you don't like.
and that you don't like, that's not an opportunity for you to trip.
To go off.
And it
That's
might
not-
piss you off, but if you bug out on that kid at that time, they're not coming to you about nothing.
There you
else.
go.
Then you believe that.
Then you definitely not
You just shut 'em
askable.
down.
You're not askable at all.
You shut them down.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Where you going? To have sex with somebody? You don't push me in it. Literally.
Yeah, for real. But that's the facts, man. And I think if our children feel like they can come to their parents, I think they would avoid a lot of those roadblocks, along the way.
Oh yeah,
So-
oh yeah. Now the other thing, the other part of this little quiz, just so we get back to the quiz.
Okay.
Catch up.
Question 3, right?
If your son or your daughter shares with you that they are having sex, your reaction is to A.
Beat them. I'm sorry. Go back.
See, relax yourself.
I'm cool.
Anger management. That's what we're gonna get you. Some anger management
All right,
classes.
I got you.
Or some Xanax or something. Your reaction to them is, to tell them the thought of them having sex at their age is completely irrational. That's A. Or B. Drive them to the local health district and get them every type of birth control imaginable. That's B. C. Ask them why they are having these feelings and give them advice based on their responses.
Right.
Or D. Talk to them sternly so that they know this decision is a bad one.
Black folks.
Okay? Now the answer to that question is, y'all ready?
You're right.
D for black folks.
The answer to the question is C for Caucasian.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Ask them why they're having these feelings
Yeah.
and give advice based on their responses.
That's right. That's right.
Now we all know, as in our community, it don't really go down like that, but we
Right.
have to be a little bit more open and approach things
do.
Right.
differently.
Right.
I think personally, it would have been probably a combination of all of them for
Right.
me.
Yes.
I would have been
yeah.
open, but at the same time, I would have been stern, and I'd have been like, well, that's just not being smart
Right.
now.
Right. Exactly.
Based on where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Let's think about your future. Let's weigh the pros and cons
Right. There you go.
of having a child
There you go.
right now at your age.
Yeah,
Right,
there you go.
right.
And how you going to take care of it? Because I'm not taking care of your child.
Right.
That's
I'm
your
not-
son.
yeah, I'm
That's
not-
your responsibility.
Yeah. How you gonna do it as a dropout?
As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do the bills for the month. Right.
Right.
You come in here and sit down. I want you to see
Right. There you go.
what you don't have to see
Right.
every month.
Exactly.
Because you got to bring some realism to a form so that they
totally
can,
agree.
you can't objectify the situation.
Right.
And make them think that it's okay. Well, their parents took care of their grandchild.
Right.
You're going to do the same. It's not going down like that.
One of the things about the question also is this, that the question was your son or daughter shares with you that they're having sex.
Sex, right.
There should have already have been an environment set aside for that child.
No doubt.
To say, if you decide
Right.
or if you thinking about having sex, come holler at me.
Right.
You feel
Yeah.
me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That way, when they feel like that moment is approaching, you are so approachable that you've already kind of opened the door to this conversation.
And some adults are actually scared to have the quote unquote
They
birds
are.
and the bees conversation.
Yeah.
Now, for people out there that have an issue with bees,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Right.
Anyway, but for some people are just uncomfortable with having that. You can't be uncomfortable having a discussion with your child.
Can't be uncomfortable.
And you as a parent, I got 5 girls in my house, okay? And my thing is, so that if they're doing something, I guess to cut off my overreaction if something happens that'll drive me crazy.
Right.
In my mind, I know I got 5 girls.
You gotta have like 6 bathrooms.
All right, so I already know that there is a possibility of one of them starting to have sex.
Yeah.
There's a possibility of one of them may get pregnant.
Yeah.
So I'm already prepared for it if it happens. You know, thanks God, they're not at that stage yet, but my mind is prepared for it already. So if something happens, one will come to me and say, Dad, I done did this. I'll be like, okay, let's sit down, let's have this talk. You know better, but let's sit down, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this young man.
Yeah.
Who is he? How did things happen? Blah, 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 blah. I've never been the type of parent that's been dogmatic with the kids when it comes to things. And I think
I
because...
say that about you.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Because you're a dog man.
I am not... No, I told you
rough.
I told you my life has changed.
I'm sorry.
I told you that.
Life changed.
Okay,
I'm not in gangs anymore. Okay? I'm not in...
Because you got a little crap for it.
Okay?
You got a little slap crap for
There's
it.
no crap.
You know you're wrong for that. You know you're wrong for that. You wrong. Hey, CD.
Hey,
we appreciate you.
That's right, dog. That's right. I got you.
Right.
So my thing is for them to be able to approach me.
You got 5 kids and you talking about this so smooth and like
because I'm calm, Bobby. Because I'm calm, Bobby.
What did you do though? What did you do though? Women that have 5
I ain't do nothing,
girls.
man. I had all brothers.
He got an AK-47 somewhere
sir.
at the crib. You can believe that.
Karate
And
classes.
his little glasses sitting there with his middle finger on the side of his face like he Malcolm X by any means necessary. Like, I wish that nigga, woo! Come up here. He can sit there and play that ball if he wants.
Show him doing it.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Show him doing it.
Not worried about me.
You gotta worry about the Comcast.
Conversation.
Them the ones with the hollow points.
How you look at it?
Alright,
It's
it's
conversation.
just conversation.
It ain't happened yet.
Because I'm sure.
Don't punch me in my face at the show, but I'm just saying.
I'm sure that they thinking about it.
Of course they think about it. I'm glad that they're thinking about it.
Right.
Because I
So
wouldn't
you
want them-
already had a conversation with him about.
Oh, we done talked about this
There you go.
100 times,
Alright,
and they love boys, and so I understand that.
I had a conversation with mine yesterday, and she would be 3 in November. So, I try to reiterate all that.
You gotta start early.
That's right.
You gotta start
I was
early.
talking through the belly when her mother was
And you
carrying
got
her.
to.
So my
That's what you had to do. You gotta talk to them while they're in the room.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know?
Yes, sir. And this
If you hear anybody that sound like your daddy, run.
I'm building. I'm taking karate classes right now.
Okay.
I'm building the fence around my house. And I live in an apartment, so I don't even own that land. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm making sure the mailman comes.
So you kind of building a fence in the foyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
got
sir.
you.
You never can be too
You can't
safe.
get through the foyer. I might open the door, but
That's
you
right.
can't just walk in.
That's right.
That's what you're saying. Okay, I
All
feel
right,
you
man.
on that.
Can we get the question for man?
Okay.
Let me make one little quick one point.
Go
You know, because one important characteristic about just being askable or open parent, like we said before, is not to overreact in tough situations. And this is remember, this is a rough time in your teen's life.
Right.
And by you overreacting, like I was saying before, you're showing that you're not, approachable. You're not open to all of this other good stuff. And I just want to reiterate that. I know we kind of touched on it for a second. So don't overwhelm, your child, your teenager with information and resources and all that other stuff because, you're just nervous about this new step in life.
Right.
It's always better to address specific concerns or questions with simple answers.
Yeah.
In mature language, that they can understand.
I think you have to know the jargon that they use too.
Yeah.
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 Because young folks got different words.
Yes,
for
sir.
stuff.
They got 'em.
Yes, sir.
Different slang
Yeah.
for stuff.
Yeah.
And I think you got to learn that.
I
Yeah,
cook
they
out
got
everything.
ebonics for ebonics
I cook
now.
out everything. We had pancakes. Pancakes? What's up with the pancakes? No, Daddy, we just had breakfast. Oh, okay. I'm
And I
just like
understand
nobody
that.
through.
And I understand that because that's just the way
You
it
touch,
is.
right?
Yeah,
Okay. I just want to point that out.
I look, ain't
I
no
don't know if
word that you
anybody ever
pass
told
me.
you.
So, but you know they had pancakes last week. They better not have no pancakes last week.
I'm just saying.
Because I don't whoop my kids by smack them in the throat. Because when you
got
smack
to.
somebody in the throat, they
You
think
gotta-
about
you-
dying
you
first.
gotta whoop
take somebody's air
a
supply.
child's
I'm
butt.
not taking people's air supply. That's the new form of thugness.
That's what you.
Thugness.
That's your thug.
That's my thugness.
You well, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Big question for.
Go ahead. Can you hit tall people in the throat?
Hey,
You like just jump up. Wow!
that's
Like
right.
that.
It's always a chair round. Okay.
Okay.
Question number 4.
At least until you get them knees.
When you're talking,
I ain't mad at you.
when you're talking to your teen about sex, the best approach is to A, lecture your teen on all the facts. B, give information about what it was like when you were their age. C, engage in open conversation when they can share their opinions. I'm sorry, fellas. And D, sit back and listen while you
That's
while they
remedial
tell you
reading.
everything. And look, that's DC Public Schools. You gotta know what y'all saying for real.
That's exactly what it
That's
is.
right. Hey, look, I wasn't able to get a diploma. I got a GED, but I'm still a Q. I can walk all day long. Okay.
The school of dumb children. DC. That's it, right
He
there.
said that. Chad said that I didn't. And the correct answer is C. Engage in open conversation when they can share their opinions.
Right.
There you go.
That's what you want. You want that child sharing their opinion. A lot of times parents just like shut up and just listen to me.
Right.
But you need to find out, get an open opinion from the child to find out, why the child is, doing what they're doing. Why they're thinking about it, why they're engaging in it. That's the best approach to do.
One of the things that I found that when you're talking to children about sex is don't use this term. When I was young, that's how we used to do it.
Yeah.
Because they don't relate to
Exactly.
how you used to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They automatically shut down when you say that.
You just disconnected
right.
with them. Don't even know
right.
it.
Like, you 50 years old talking about when I was young.
Right.
They don't even like your mama. So,
Right. And they can't imagine you doing what they doing right now.
Right.
With your nasty stuff.
Right.
That's the truth, though.
So one thing you have to make sure is that you don't shut your children down by
Right.
using that kind of terminology.
Right.
And also, other side of it is don't just be sterile in your conversation. Be more street oriented in your conversation.
Tuberculosis.
You know what I mean?
Don't say it. Say it, don't spread.
There is nothing off limits on this show.
Exactly. If you can spit across the table, apparently everything is fair.
There you go. It's important to lead the conversation, right, and make the conversation open so that your teens feel comfortable to ask you questions and share their feelings when you're talking about sex with your teens.
Oh yeah.
Well, just to piggyback on what you said, definitely you don't want to relate to when you was growing up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the kids nowadays, I don't think they playing hide and go get it. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
They just going to
They
get it.
just going to get it.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
the thing about it is, you want to
Like
think
smoking,
yourself.
go get it.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So you basically want to know what is going on, and it's like we was talking about words,
Right.
Different. I was joking about pancakes, but it's a word out there for sex that they'll say right in front of us that we don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
definitely want to be able to.
I thought
not
you was
put
just
yourself-
hungry.
Oh nah, man.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. Unless you got some chicken.
All right, we got
one more question, right?
We got one more
You got
question.
it?
One more question. All right. What is the best setting to talk to your teen about their sex? All right. A, at the dinner table with the whole family present.
Wow.
Now you just embarrassed.
Yeah. Not
Not gonna get one word out that's honest.
That's only on TV. B, one-on-one with them on the couch. Or C,
Wait a minute.
while
West
engaged.
Virginia. Okay.
C,
You done talked about them prophets.
Okay.
C, while engaging one-on-one in an activity such as a hiking or cooking activity.
Yeah,
Okay, and the correct answer to that, believe it or not, is C. Now I know most of you probably figured that you need to sit them down on the couch and talk to them one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from a psychological standpoint, it's like I hated getting lectured when it was a one-on-one. It's like nobody else in the room, just y'all
Right.
two. It scared me to death.
Yeah. I might get a beating.
Yeah, you feel like you about to get a beating, a chair thrown, or something like that's about to happen.
Right.
But it's actually talking to that child when something else is sort of taking place. Like they say, a hiking trip. You know, I don't go hiking,
right?
But it could be anything of the sort. But if you ease it in, it sort of takes all the attention off of that child, so they won't feel so isolated in the conversation.
Right.
You know, this is
one thing.
That's a good point, E.
Yeah.
One thing I wouldn't do, and I think some parents do this, like you mentioned in your comment, that some parents go in their rooms or call the child in their room or go in the child's room. That's not a good approach.
Right.
Because it's still one-on-one.
Right.
It's still intimidating.
Right.
It's still, I'm going to give you all the answers you want to hear, mama. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to give you what you want to hear. I'm not going to really divulge how I really feel because the situation has already been jacked up to another level.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing it in a room where you've already, you've had arguments and beatings and all of that stuff. Last thing they want to do is provoke you to wrath.
Right.
At that time. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I mean, and I'm okay with having a one-on-one conversation or whatever, but if you're going to do it, it's just like having an adult conversation. You need to discuss something, you know, that's really serious. You know, create a setting.
Right.
You know, where you can talk about it. And sometimes that means getting outside of the house.
Right.
Take a ride. Go do something that's fun where you haven't done it, where you know both of y'all are going to speak very monotone. There's going to be a level of respect. And it's actually a bonding moment that you can allow to, you know, eventually migrate into a conversation about the topic that you want to talk about. So,
Exactly. And one of the things about that is, parents, you have to plan for your emotions during that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
All right? I mean, I know we're talking about having a conversation, but you ever have somebody say something to you like, I'm already having sex, I don't need to have this conversation. See, from that point on, you about to go into another level.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared for whatever they might say.
Right.
Because if you got one of them kind of kids that you having a hard time with anyway, they might say anything to you.
Right.
And you can't go from a conversation about sex to a conversation about, I'm going to beat you.
Right.
You just can't do that. You got to keep it 100. So make sure your emotions are in check when you go in, so that when you come out, y'all have a productive relationship.
Right.
Not a relationship where one person has been made small, another person's been caught off guard, and both of y'all acting out. Because I know something about black parents.
Yeah.
Because I is one. I can go way off.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes months for me to come back.
Good God.
So I don't want to do that.
Long time. You need to let it go.
I don't want to do that.
Therapist?
I don't want to do that.
We need to have some conversation.
Hey, I'm just saying it is what it is, because everybody ain't reading the word.
Right. I'm talking about emotions, but that's your kid, though. You know, so if your kid is telling you, you know, that I'm doing it, and especially a girl. Oh my God, because actually I got 3 girls. I got twins that are 11 and a 2-year-old. So, you know,
they look like the mama.
Huh?
They look like the mama.
Can't forget you.
We pray they look like they mama. At least got their mama's nose.
They got my eyes. They got my eyes.
Man, you know, this nose kept me out of drugs. I wasn't invited to no cocaine parties.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, you look
They kind of flared up. They like you did a lot of that, actually.
This nose kept me out of a lot of drug activity. Really? Nuh-uh. You come to me.
Right.
Imagine I had a nose like Sugar Bear from EU.
You're stupid. You're stupid. He gonna be waiting outside on you.
I know it's like Sugar Bear.
I don't fight on but I will press charges.
Hey, ain't mad at you for that.
But
All right, so we hope y'all got something out of the quiz.
Yeah.
Right? So, take some thought about it. I know we've been joking through it, but it's a very serious topic. So take the time to kind of reflect after the show over the answers that we gave you.
But now, so let's do this then. Why don't we go over some of the traits?
There you go.
You know, of an open parent, of an askable parent, of an approachable parent.
There you go.
Let's do that. You know, one thing, you know, you want to show respect and love for your children.
Right.
Yes.
That's first and foremost.
Now, how do you show respect and love for your children? How you do that? Because some folks don't know how to do that.
Nurturing.
You're right.
Yeah.
Some folks don't know how to do it.
I mean, you respect the child as far as listening. You know, you don't discard what they say.
Right.
If they come out their mouth with something wild, you know, you take it in consideration. They don't know.
Right.
Right.
Right, there you go.
Getting the benefit of the doubt that they may not know, and you teach them. You know, and a child will respect you just for that basis alone, because they feel like you're taking a vested interest in me.
There you go.
And how I feel and how I see things. So this parent really loves me. You know,
Right.
because they're talking to me, because I went across a lot of kids. My house has turned into the neighborhood hangout, you know, with the little young kids
Kool-Aid
around.
house.
Because you got all the
Right.
girls.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
That he tried.
Out, please.
But I run into a lot of
He about to run out the studio right now.
Brother eyebrows done stood up and everything.
They're already standing up. But I run into a lot of, especially the young guys around there with no relationship
Right.
with their parents.
Right.
You know, and it's like scary, you know. So when they come over to the house, you know, they call me Pops,
Right.
you know, and stuff like that, because I take time to talk to them.
Yeah.
You know,
That's good.
and that's what it's
And
about.
again, you got to understand too that every difficult situation is not a crisis.
There you
Right,
go.
right.
You know, it's
right,
not the
right.
world's going in.
Yeah.
You know, so quit vexing.
Yeah.
You know,
If your child is potentially having sex, that doesn't mean she's pregnant.
Right.
It don't mean that. It just means she is involved in something that you want
Right.
to make sure she has taken all the
necessary precautions.
Right.
to be involved in.
Right.
And then you want to try to figure out how you can move her to Alaska. I'm sorry.
How you can apply that titanium chastity belt?
Chastity belt, and I got that key. So you understand, but I think that's real talk, because I think a lot of people, when it comes to thinking about and talking about sex,
Yeah.
let me give you an example. On the
I knew
MTV
you
channel,
would.
they always talking about, I'm a teenager and I have a child. You know what I mean? And so kids see that and they like, oh wow, we love that. You know, and they see how other folks of different persuasions deal with that crisis.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? My house is not MTV. You know, I might deal with a crisis totally different
Right.
than
That's
MTV
right.
deals with.
Right.
So I tell young folks all the time, we don't live an MTv life here.
Right.
Live a
We
TV
live
one life.
real life.
That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
TV one life. That's nice. Go ahead, hit us with that next one, man.
Now the next thing though, is that which we were speaking of too, is understand that listening is going to be the most important thing that
Yes.
you can do.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
At all times. Sometimes it's just a matter of shutting up and listening. You might not want to hear what's being
Right.
said, and because you got your emotions all caught up in it. We have to learn to suppress our emotions when we're trying to deal with a situation.
Yeah.
And that's whether it's with your kids or any situation, or with in a relationship. You got to take the emotion out of it when you're dealing with a situation,
Right.
So that you allow yourself to listen and
Right.
be able to deal with it.
See, I don't respect people on my job more than I respect my kids. When people on my job come to me and they make me mad and my feelings get all involved, I don't go off on them because that's on my job.
Right.
So why would I treat my child any different than I treat
Right.
folks on my job?
That's right.
So I love my child more than I love folks on my job. So when I deal with my child, I go straight with the, one-on-one. All right, I'm listening to you. All right, tell me what you got to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? And let me give you my advice. I don't flick, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
then if I flick, then what's my point?
Right. Right.
Now I ain't gonna hear nothing else.
Right.
Right.
Because it might not be just sex we gonna get into. It might be
Right.
drugs.
Yeah.
It might be alcohol. It might be, whatever's happening on the streets.
Right.
I want them to be able to come to me with anything, not
Right.
just this sex topic.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Your
guess
son
what?
might be getting bullied or something.
Right.
You need to
Yeah,
if
man.
you feel like
Exactly.
that didn't happen to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I had that situation. My son, didn't take that gene from me. I don't
Right,
know.
right, right.
Sorry, oh my God. But he ain't had that quick fine.
Right.
Well, we gonna get it in,
Right.
or whatever. And he didn't say anything for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So whenever he finally did say something, by that point,
Sure.
his mother had already decided, I'm just going to put him in a private school. But you can't always run from a
Can't always do
situation.
it. Yeah.
Sure
It's
can.
going to be situations everywhere you go. And for me, that, like I said, that wasn't a crisis. That was a time, that was an opportunity to educate him and see where, his fear lied or whatever the case may
Right.
be, and let him know that he had my blood in him and that he can, he ain't no easy win.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, Chad, because that bullying is a huge topic out here now.
Yes, sir.
How did you feel? I'm not interviewing you, but
Well,
I'm
you
just trying
trying to look like he changed position.
But how did you feel when knowing that your son was getting bullied? I mean, did you?
Real talk?
Yeah, real talk. How did?
I felt bad. I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I was embarrassed. I ain't let him see it or know it, but I was embarrassed. I was angry, and all that good stuff. And I was just like, man, we don't get down. We don't get down like that. On my side of the family, it don't happen like that. For real. I mean, we got it in. I came up fighting.
Right.
And so did pretty much every member of my family. So for him to be like that and just be passive, and I said, so the dude hit you? He was like, yeah. I said, well, what'd you do? I told him it didn't hurt. What? You told me it didn't hurt. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Yeah, hit me again.
And I didn't say to him, I just said, you told him it didn't hurt? He said, yeah. I said, well, did it happen again after that? He said a couple times or whatever, And my son actually is a black belt in Taekwondo.
Okay.
So I was like, but he didn't apply anything.
Right.
And I'm okay with him walking away from a situation first.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But at times, if somebody put their hands on you, that's a different ball game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm okay with him walking away from the situation. I'm okay with him not fighting all the time, trying to, be a bully and getting caught up and stuff, because he's a great kid, very intelligent kid, the whole nine. But I just didn't like it. I was just like, oh, man, no, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. But I used it as a time. Actually, we bonded a little bit more after that. I used it as a moment to, open up communication with him on a lot of different levels. And we actually talked about that situation and why he did that and why he was feeling a certain way and things of that nature. And it just so happens that the other kid's reputation had preceded him. And so that's what instilled a certain level of fear in my son's mentally. So it wasn't that he didn't want to defend himself. It was like, well, this guy's known all around school as knocking people out. I'm not trying to be standing here by my locker and getting knocked out. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm not, I don't want to wake up and people standing over me, and my tennis shoes were on. You understand? I understood that.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I can appreciate that, but we still had to have a conversation, you know what I'm saying? I had to, get him on the speed bag.
Right.
Learn, and a heavy bag, this is how many push-ups you're going to do a day. Because sometimes just, getting yourself more in tune, because it had been a while since he had did the Taekwondo thing, And sometimes if you can train yourself and get your muscles used to doing certain things, it's going to get your confidence level to a certain level that you might not be as intimidated in a situation like that. And that's where it brought
my question, and I can ask Eric this question because you have girls, because these days girls can get birth control without their parents' consent. So how do you deal with it if you walk in and you see this cylinder that happen to have birth control pills in it? How do you approach that when you see that and it's 5 girls? They don't have no name on it.
Right, you're right. It don't have a name on it.
Y'all about to have a come to Jesus meeting?
Well, see, I actually got 6 daughters in my house.
Yeah.
The other one is I don't know.
Right.
She does everything. So it's probably hers. But that's a situation where I gather them all around, except for the 9-year-old. She ain't doing that. But I can get.
She is not. You don't have to worry about her.
But I would gather everybody together and say, hey, look, I found this. Who is this? Somebody talk to me. Let me know what's going on.
Right.
Is somebody doing something? Just talk to me about it. I've always tried to leave things open to them. One thing I did with my girls at an early age is I never stopped them, even when they was like 5, 6, 7. Never stopped them from talking about boys or expressing themselves when talking about boys and different things like that. So our relationship growing up, they felt free to always talk about it.
Right.
Whereas a friend of mine, he never did that. But he was always cut it off. Don't talk about that. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
So they grew up having issues.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. Want those type of issues.
Right.
I did like the fact that they was interested in boys, so I kept feeding that.
Right.
Boys are okay. They're good.
Good, yeah.
And so.
No, that's serious.
You come on now. So but in that situation, I would do that because they already know straight up that if I find out that they're doing something, I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fly off the handle. But I'm gonna be honest. Can I keep it 100?
Go ahead.
That's what we do here.
If I If I feel like they're being disrespectful to me,
Right.
I'm gonna give them a couple of chances, opportunities, because I told them
You mean
straight up.
disrespectful? Like they let the boy in the house?
Disrespectful in the sense that you're talking to me like, yeah, I did it. I mean, so
Oh,
what?
I
They
see.
mine. I'm having sex.
Come that Creflo moment. Hold
You
on.
know what I'm saying? So I said, okay.
Okay.
I said, you know, that's one thing I'm not going to tolerate. You're not
There
going
you
to
go.
disrespect me. I'm trying to be the best parent to you,
Right.
and try to understand what you're going through.
And if they disrespect
But if you disrespect
you're
me,
my Creflo.
I might Creflo right here, bow, and you ain't gonna see it coming. Because I'm like, you ain't gonna disrespect me in a house.
That's right.
That ain't gonna happen.
Right.
You know.
Not where I'm ready to be.
Not right. Come on,
Not
somebody.
where you eat.
Well, you know,
On me.
and I think I might have mentioned this before. My wife found a condom in my son's room, and so all of a sudden I have become the bad parent.
Wow.
You know, because your son got a condom in his room. And I don't understand what's going on. And what kind of parent are you? Ain't you raising your son?
Right.
So I'm taking all this fire. Right. You know, so my thought is, how can I extinguish this fire? Right? Because I don't want this situation with the wifey to be a problem.
Right.
Right? So I bring my son in the room and the condom's on the bed. He already know that, jig's up, right? So we close the door, right? So I go in the bathroom, because the bathroom's down the hall in my bedroom. I start screaming in the bathroom. What are you doing with this condom? I can't believe you are doing with this condom, right?
You stupid.
Right? I did all that. So then when I got all that done, he was still there looking at me like I was crazy. Who is he screaming
You was
at?
doing that for your wife.
Right.
All
So
that
then when I
extra.
finished all that extra,
I got it,
right,
baby.
I went to him and was like, dude, what's up? I said, what's up? I said, is this time? Are we ready for this? He's like, no, Pops, this is what's going on. So then he was able to tell me that some boys gave it to him, and he wasn't gonna be no punk and not take it.
Right. Don't do
He
that.
said so because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wasn't gonna be laughing at me like I'm not the one. He said, but Pops, what was I gonna do with it? I don't have no wallet. And I was like, well, listen, man, you come holler at me when you're really ready for this. And when your boys tell you about it, tell them the last one you had, you gave it to your dad. That your dad found it. You know what I mean?
But the funny thing is, the same thing happened to me. But when I was a kid, my mother came and fussed at me because I had a condom.
Right.
But my thing is like this. We don't want your kid jumping off the building.
Right.
But if you jump off the building, he got a safety net.
There you go.
So you can't be too mad
Right.
that he got a condom.
They're at least thinking about
Right.
it. Right.
Exactly.
He'd be
Right.
prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's,
my
it's
mother
better
was
to
off.
know.
Because
Yeah.
my daddy would have beat me. My daddy was like that. He would have beat me. So I would have just
My daddy wouldn't have beat me. He just gave me a pound.
Yeah, no, my daddy would beat me.
My dad was wild.
I gotta beat
You got a mailbox question?
The OTC mailbox question.
right.
Oh,
What's
is
the
this?
question?
What is
What's the question?
This is Keith from Maryland.
All right, go
Keith
ahead.
from Maryland. My
Merle.
bad. I'm supposed to say
Merle.
Merle. From Maryland. Keith, I met this young lady and we started hanging out a lot. I wanted to take things to the next level, but she wasn't feeling me like that.
Okay.
We talked on the phone all the time. We hung out, and she gets jealous when I see other people.
Wow.
What's
Okay.
going on in her head?
You got that right.
Is the question, fellas. What's going on in her head? And is she playing hard to get, or is she afraid of getting too close? What do you think, men off the cuff? And that's from Keith from Maryland.
My issue is, why is something wrong with the way that she is treating you? Because all she is doing is what we always say on this show, right? She might be like, I don't know if he ready.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it seemed like his game is tight. Like he ready to let's go.
Right.
She might have that 90-day rule. She might have one of them rules like, I'm not getting down like that for 90 days.
I'm saying either she playing games or you asking a question that you know the answer to, because right here in your question,
Yeah.
you said she said that she was not feeling me like that.
Right.
So if she's not feeling you like that,
You already know.
you already know what's
You
up.
already know.
So you can continue to hang out with her and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I would totally, if she playing a game, I wouldn't worry about what's in her head. You know, if you want to keep hanging
She
out
told you
all
what's in
the
her head.
time and everything.
She said, I'm not feeling
I'm
you
not.
like
If
that.
she ain't feeling you playing, she ain't feeling. She ain't playing hard to get. She don't want you.
Now here's the other side though. If she's a little jealous because you talk to other people and all that, she might be feeling you a little bit, but not like that.
And it could have something to do with she feeling him a little bit, or she's jealous. Her jealousy really isn't jealousy. That's just what he's perceiving it to be.
Right.
She might be just more concerned about the types of individuals he might be associating himself with, because she might feel like, well, this is my boy, we close, she ain't good enough for him.
I guess in this particular situation, probably what you need to do is just be friends with this girl.
Yeah.
Just take it like that. Just, hey, we're going to be friends. We're going to hang out and stuff like that, you know. And let her know, openly communicate that with her. We just friends, you know. I'm not going to even try to go that route. I'm not pushing to go that route. We're just going to hang out. And then let things fall where they may fall.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you can do. That's just, that way you won't drive yourself crazy thinking about it.
Yeah.
But he likes her because he took time to write an email.
Right.
So it's wishful thinking right now.
It's
so cause it's just like you just trying to make it happen.
Right.
You know? You already know the answer, but you just want to hear, you know, confirmation for somebody else to lie to you.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes you gotta just say deuces. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
I think Keith already knows. Keith already knows. And sometimes you can't get it. Sometimes she already told you. You know, and women, some women are just
Keith,
jealous.
we appreciate you emailing us, Keith. That was obviously something that weighed very heavy on your heart.
There you go.
And Keith, if you feeling bad, you know, Big Sean didn't mean nothing by that. You know, and Keith, I want you to know that you is kind, you is smart, and you is important.
All right, well, fellas, y'all know what time it is.
Bro.
It is contest time. Contest time. So, let's hit it.
All right, check it out, y'all. All right, we got this new contest in place. This contest is hot, so listen up. Now, you must be a follower of the show to qualify for this contest. Go to the www.spreaker.com. Sign up with your email address. Type in off the cuff in the search box, and then click on the follow button. That will make you a part of the OTC University family. Now, we will be choosing a winner each week, and that winner will be put into a drawing to win a $50 Visa gift card. Now, if we call your name as one of the weekly winners, you have 1 week. I said one week from the day we call your name to respond. If we do not hear from you within that week, you forfeit your eligibility
Give it up.
to win the $50 Visa gift
I'll
card.
take it.
We'll all take that.
But you still qualify for the grand prize. We will be choosing the winners of the $50 Visa gift card every first Sunday of the month. But hold on 1 second. There's even more to this contest.
Hotel.
55.
That's the captain.
What you know?
Like the school bucket truck.
Trash.
Yes.
Lil Chad is going to come tell you about the big surprise, all right? Take it away, Lil Chad.
All right, now, every 3 months, all of the Visa card winners will be put into a drawing to have the opportunity to be a guest host on the show with the men of Off the Cuff. Now, let me emphasize this. You're going to be a guest host on the show, but now look, y'all know how we roll. You know how we roll. If you don't, go listen to some shows.
Yeah.
So we keep it all the way live, 100
That's right.
up in this piece. So if you're chosen to be a guest host, be ready to keep it off the cuff. Don't come up in here with some thin skin, all sensitive and everything. And before, matter of fact, Big Sean, finish this up there. Man, tell them about that last little piece right there.
Our first grand prize winner will be chosen.
DC Public Schools on display again.
November 4th, so make sure you get registered now if you want to be a part of what we do. Now, the past winners from the last contest that claimed their prizes will be included in this drawing. See, y'all wrong, man.
I didn't know I was going to catch you like that.
Man. No, okay.
Yeah.
Because, look, I'm already nervous. I'm already nervous.
Everybody write your congressman right now. We need to get statehood for DC so they can start getting some of this money
And the light
for schools.
The light had shined on some of the words.
It was the light?
Yeah, it was the
Is
light.
that what it was?
I'm sticking to it.
Ain't that much light. We all had light though.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I'm going to leave it alone, bro.
All right, man.
Y'all want me to read it again?
No, I think I'm reading it again.
That was painful enough for me, you know.
And the winner is Sheba 31.
Sheba 31.
Sheba 31.
Bathsheba.
No, it's just Sheba 31.
Oh, my bad.
Sheba 31, hit us up, all right?
Yeah, man. We're going to have to do part 2.
Yeah, we come back
Part 2 next week. Y'all know how we do it.
Part 2 next week.
The sequel.
We're going to have to get into some more parenting tips, man. So, y'all know what time it is, man. We
right.
see you back here next week.
Same place, same time.
Where we keeps it real.
Yep.
God loves it.
We going to finish?
Go finish the check.
And we out.
Man, you just crazy.
Peace, y'all. Problems.
Oh, God. I can't have no two of y'all.
This is God ordained. Get in position, cause we on a mission, fulfilling this vision, releasing contention in this God we praise. The one who keeps us from falling, receiving this faultless. Ooh, that man is awesome. You see, it's every day we celebrate. Right now it's time for us to elevate. So get your hands up, cause Hosanna's great. And see, they call it off the cuff because we tailor-made.
Off the cuff, yeah.